Hello, welcome to the Outside Man podcast, the armchair guide to rugby league. Thanks for tuning in. We have got a cracker of a show for you today. Before you do anything, hit that subscribe, hit a like, and get amongst it. But bad weekend of footy, guys?
It's good for me.
Oh, was it?
It was okay for me.
Fine for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just you guys.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Just quickly, we did pick up another subscriber.
Oh, just quickly.
63?
Bring it on.
We have
Yep, 63.
Yeah. Oh, how good.
63.
Welcome number 63.
Well
done.
It is good to see you.
Could have been Mr. Nookie Fora who won the prize the other week.
Look, I haven't said that yet in all honesty.
Get
I will.
sent.
I'll get that out to you.
You could have had free delivery this weekend.
Oh, could I?
Yeah, a mutual friend of ours was up
Oh,
in that area.
in the vicinity.
Yeah.
in the
Mutually.
Could have been hand delivered.
Mutual. I
Could have
didn't know
been
I had
handled.
friends. There we go.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm your friend.
cool. But no, good week for the underdogs.
not a
Yeah.
good week for my tipping because I
No.
didn't tip any of the underdogs. I
I
got
got two.
0.
Yeah, I got two.
Shout out
I
to
got three. Oh, nice, Jed.
Oh, did you shout out to the bloke?
Three. How'd you do that?
Bloke in a bar, long time listener.
Hey, Denon.
He tipped them all
No
Yeah.
way.
on the podcast, and he tipped Teddy and McInnes for any time try scorer.
Wow.
I heard on his podcast.
I bet you he
and
was like, I just get rugby league.
I was like, what? So that was crazy. But yeah, so we'll have a quick break then, and we'll get back to everyone's favourite segment.
Segment. That's the word.
Segment,
Or the most controversial.
or the
segment.
most controversial segment you'll hear. Unless you watched the Origin podcast last week. That was
true.
controversially
Yeah, pretty
controversial.
That was a good episode.
All
Check
right.
it out. So I have heard that apparently you've got a controversy.
Callum.
No,
Jace?
it's Jace. You have
Oh,
no.
me?
Jace.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Or do you want to talk about it when we get to the Sharks game?
Callum will go first
All right.
with his.
Yep.
I didn't know you heard about that.
Oh.
Well, I don't think you
Did I
did hear
say
about it. I think you said it.
Oh, okay.
You said you had one.
Okay.
Yep. So what is
Yeah,
it?
you go first.
Oh, you know what? Look, I'm pretty passionate about the Dally M point system.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, you
I'm-
watch them every year. You love the Delians.
I'm not that passionate about it. This year I've been more interested in it because our favourite goat,
Kennedy.
Will Kennedy, I forgot his
A
name.
favourite of the show.
Will Kennedy was leading it. He's no longer leading it, and it's probably
Rigged.
yeah.
Probably rigged.
But
Far out.
I just wanted your thoughts, and I'm going to make a controversial statement. Most people think that the Dally M, the medal, is a bunch of crock anyway, because there was the year that Sean Johnson and Kalen Ponga were tied, and it ended up going to Kalen Ponga when everyone knew that Sean Johnson had the far better years, 22 years ago. And there's been other controversies with it over the years, but I had a thought the other day, and I thought, it is completely unfair, not just because of the way that it's voted for, and sometimes you read the votes from going, well, who was watching this game and why did they vote like this? But for this reason also. So if you're a State of Origin player, there are 3 games minimum throughout the year that you don't have an opportunity to get votes for the Dally M award, right? So the Dally M award, for those playing at home, is awarded to the best player in the NRL. Every game, after every game, there's someone who votes 3, 2, 1. Oh, I think it's six points now, isn't it?
It's 3-2-1 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah.
And so the idea is whoever gets the most points at the end of there wins the Dally M. They've voted the best. But it's completely flawed, and I've just worked out why. Because our best players are the players that will play Origin, right? That's the point of Origin, selecting the best. So those best players don't get to get voted for at least minimum 3 times of the year because they have to play Origin. So if we're voting for our best player at the end of the year to win the Dally M, but we don't get to vote for the best player because they've missed out during Origin,
And
then our best player's not really the best
Well, it'd be
player
the
at the end
same
of
if
the year.
they get injured, though.
yeah.
But that's not the point.
Well,
Regardless of injury,
it's not the same.
Yeah.
it's not the same.
And there's a potential they
Situation.
could miss another 2 games if they have buys after.
Exactly.
So do you think that they should get Dally M points during Origin games?
Yes, all of them.
That's tricky in itself because then it's it's a separate comp state of origin.
No, one Dally M point for getting into Origin.
I guess my point is, and I don't have a solution, but the
I do.
system's that flawed that, like, I use Payne Haas. There's 3 games that Payne Haas will not be able to accumulate votes for this year. What if that does cost him a Dally M medal? Maybe that's the reason why Nathan Cleary hasn't won a Dally M this year. Well, at all.
Yeah, but
He doesn't play 8 weeks around the Origin.
whole
period,
teams
do they?
get the bye though during the.
I'm not talking about buys. Talking about the weeks that.
Yeah, but you've got the Origin buys, so
Yeah.
that sort of offsets.
But it
those.
doesn't offset the players who get selected for Origin. They don't have a choice. They get selected.
yeah,
so
I see what you mean.
the players that get selected for Origin do not, regardless of bye
Because
schedule,
they
don't get
miss
a
the
chance.
game before.
They missed the game before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we should all boycott Dally M at the end of the year. No one should turn up to the Dally M medals. It'll just be one player standing on
But
the
Will
stage.
Kennedy didn't get picked for Origin, so he's got no excuse.
Exactly. Yeah. Good point. What do you guys think?
Yep, completely agree.
Thanks, Jed.
I think
It's the
Sean
first thing we've
Johnson-
ever agreed on.
I think Sean Johnson is a good commentator. I think he's pretty
Yeah.
good. I think he will become really good.
Yes.
I noticed, who had a problem with Mick Innes about picking on a player?
Dweep until
Was that you? Someone said on the
But
podcast.
we were paying out Mick Innes when we were
Yeah.
watching the game the other night.
But he was, the other night I noticed for the first time, it wasn't a Sharks game, it was another game.
He picks
And
them
he
up.
was like,
he
I was
does.
like, oh, because I've normally found him a great commentator, but I
Either
noticed that
that-
then.
Or he just jumps on something like every time he commentates Nathan Cleary, all you hear about is Michael Ennis talking about Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, about how good he is. Yeah,
But he's
Yeah, but I guess that's
he's the go.
why he's a commentator, because he's like, you have your normal commentator who does the call, and then you got the guys off the side. Same as Blocker Roach. Like,
Oh,
Blocker comes in, hates everyone except Balmain.
but everything he says is wrong.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, but I guess that's the entertainment value, isn't it? Because
He
they're
does-
bringing him in because you got your main call, and then you got all these expert
I
opinions.
don't
on
find
the
it
side.
entertaining. Blocker absolutely drives me nuts.
Well, who's worse, Blocker or Kevy?
I like
Blocker.
Kevy's terrible.
No, Blocker.
I like Kevy. What's wrong with Kevy?
Oh, he's all right.
But the fact that he got sacked for Corey Parker.
Oh, Corey Parker, couldn't stand Corey. He just whinges about everything. At least Kevy brings a bit of optimism.
Oh, but
Corey Parker's another one that hates the Titans too.
He just whinges. He's just,
Yeah. I didn't even notice. Is he
Corey.
gone? Is he? I
yeah,
didn't even
because he
know.
got sacked in place of Kevy, the guy that can't coach. Okay, my controversy
Oh, here we go.
is I think, now hear me out here, that we should
Listening.
have the season 3 weeks shorter than what it currently is. And we play Origin at the end of the season because we see, that we have these games that at the moment during Origin period are the quality just isn't there. Yes, I get that it brings up, young and up and comers, but you've only just got to look at the viewership. If you're paying hard-earned money to go to the footy, like $120 or whatever it is, $200 to take your family, do you want to see reserve grade football?
Even if it's not hard earned, even if you just
And-
like bumble around at work.
Yeah.
But you also do want to see the reserve grade guys come out and beat a near full strength team, though.
No, you do.
Like what happened with
No,
the
you do not.
Sharks and Roosters.
Yeah. I get it, but like...
I think that's a good concept. I think that's all right because we didn't want to do it because of internationals. That wouldn't affect that. Do you think there might just be too many injured players at
That's what I
that
was
time
gonna
of year,
say.
though?
Yeah.
Like we're
It's-
not
but-
really getting the best out of these
Well,
best players.
It's what is the pinnacle of the sport? Winning the grand final or making state of origin? Because there's only one team that can win the grand final, but players from every single team can aspire to
But
make
also,
origin.
also look at the 2020 series when it was done at the end
Yeah.
of the year.
Oh, that was awesome.
The
I loved it.
Queenslanders was the worst team ever because we had so many injured players, but also there are some guys that will stop playing football in August.
Yeah.
They don't have any game time because they don't make finals. Their last game's in August. They will go 6 to 8 weeks without playing a game, and then they're selected for Origin. So that's whereas other guys will be fresh off the grand final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mid-season's fine, but it should be like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And play
like
international games. At
I
the same
agree.
time.
Yeah.
Definitely should have international games in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
have like a mid-season intermission
Cook
break.
Islands,
Yeah.
the
You could even do
Fertiliser.
like what the soccer does and have different levels and
Oh,
you know
lots
have
of
the
levels.
like the A pool and the B pool.
Oh, relegation.
Yeah, you could even have an Australia A side in it, so the guys that
Yeah.
don't get picked for Origin get an opportunity to play for Australia as well.
I like
yeah,
the idea, Jed.
Yeah,
the block.
because we got smashed by the AFL in viewer ratings this weekend, where normally we smash them. So
AFL's a bit funny.
We
though,
didn't
'cause
have as many games.
Yeah, AFL also has.
but you got to
buys,
look at the quality
random
of the
buys.
games. You know, like
I'm not talking about the quality of the game. I'm talking about the viewership would be based on the amount of games that were played.
I disagree. That's where I can't.
If there's more
controversial.
games, there's more
Yeah,
viewers.
no,
No.
That's mathematics.
No. This was on like individual games. The
Was it?
viewership. Yep.
Show me the stats.
I can't bring it up now.
The internet in the
Got
shed's
him.
not real good. That's the excuse.
if you gave me prior knowledge,
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, are we done for controversies now?
No.
You got
Jason.
Oh, Jace, here we go.
It's
Here we
big.
go. Big one.
Look, I've been following the Cherry Evans saga and the Roosters saga, and bringing Cherry Evans into the Roosters with three, what seems like pretty good halves at the moment, is going to be a real struggle. What the Roosters are going to do there. On top of that, they brought in, what was the hooker's name? Smith. And-
Robson.
No, Smith. They brought in Smith.
Sandon.
Robson's there next year.
Yeah. And then they had to let him go because he didn't fit in the system. They
Yeah.
brought in Dom
Oh, and
Young.
Smith.
They're going to give him back to the Knights for half price. I just think the Roosters are in such a mess. We should probably relegate them down to New South Wales Cup. It just doesn't seem like they are an NRL quality club at the moment.
I agree with that statement. Everything except the relegation, because we don't want to drop teams out of the comp. We want more
It would
teams.
make it
but,
even. Be just the same.
But how good were they on the weekend with full of reserves?
Yeah,
you know,
no.
like, this is awesome.
They were crap. Yeah.
We've moved on since then, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know,
It's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Like it is true. Like, why did they go after Cherry Evans? What's the point?
Yeah, I don't get.
Why do they? If they lose Hugo,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they're going to have to clear some space.
I think we're gonna
for him
get-
to come in.
if they lose Walker,
No. Walker won't go. So
so if they lose Smith,
So Smith sounds like he's going. So we actually offered Smith a contract upgrade last year, and he rejected it because he wanted to go to market November 1 of this year. So, in that way, I can probably understand it, but like, yeah, I don't know what.
yeah,
There is talk on the grapevine that we are possibly going to backflip on Cherry Evans, but.
Yeah. See, this is why negotiations shouldn't be done during the season. Like, you've got Lockie Galvin, who's now been picked up by the Dogs, effective immediately, which looks like Toby Sexton's gone, and one of the other guys is gone now.
Marnie's looking like he's on the way
And
out.
Reed Marnie, he was the third one. So there's 3 Dogs that potentially
And
will be leaving.
talk of shifting
Yeah.
Burton to fullback.
Yeah, Titans let a Pahuhu go
Oh,
to the Storm
Can't believe
mid-season. Like, he was a gun. Like, why
Yeah.
are we getting rid of him? Like, what's the point
I
of
think
that?
a transfer window,
what doing?
Well, it's got to be done before June 30, but still,
but I think a transfer window where you can only negotiate in that week.
yeah. Or bring in drafts like
Negotiate in that week.
Bring in a
Anything you
draft
can do
system
there,
like
and then
AFL.
it's over.
Also,
Like,
just on that, Gus Gould is manipulating with his conflict of interest between being GM at the Bulldogs and his on my Channel 9 platform. He is manipulating that role
Oh, yeah.
to perfection.
Oh, yeah,
And
he's
whether you
playing the
like it or
game.
not, he knows what he's doing. And I'm surprised it's drawn a bit of attention this week. So a few guys kind of like, this isn't right. Apparently a few of the clubs have written in and complained about it.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts? Is he got anything to answer for there, or is he?
I have a problem with player managers hosting TV shows,
Breaking Asta?
and also
I found he's done it well though. He normally taps out of any conversation regarding Munster.
yeah, I don't know. It's like double dipping sort of thing. Also, another controversy.
But I do like double dipping, like especially when you got your cheese and crackers.
Oh yeah. Only if it's your own cheese and crackers.
How
though.
you-
You don't
how
double
you-
dip in other people's.
How are you dipping your cracker in a cheese? Anyway,
Unless it's chili Philly, sweet chili
oh, chili Philly, right? Sorry, I
Yeah.
was just thinking you got a block.
Philly. So
there.
another controversy.
Okay.
Cherry Evans having a half an hour catch up with the
No.
referee.
No.
I didn't read the article.
That's
to be
called
honest.
baiting.
Yeah.
So,
Do you reckon there's a bit of baiting going on?
He came out before.
Baiting.
Lots
He
of
came out before and he said every training session there's a day in the week where they have a referee out to help, because clubs are allowed to get referees out to help them during the week. Ask questions. Go, hey, how is this being
And
policed?
pay them.
I don't know if it's being paid. I don't know that much
No, I
information.
don't.
But
In
Cherry,
that case, what are you doing, Cronulla? Pay some refs.
This happened. That photo was from like 6 or 7 weeks ago. He wouldn't have known that Ashley Klein was going to get selected as the referee for Origin tomorrow night. So it's
He's cheating Origin. Okay, sorry. No,
and even then, like, what's he saying? Hey mate, you gotta throw us a few penalties.
Yeah.
You know, as if that's what is
You
happening.
don't know.
as the Blues representative
Yep.
at Suncorp Stadium, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Queensland are getting all the calls.
It's the same in Sydney when it's
So
played in Sydney.
I don't think a coffee date is going to affect anything there.
There's too many cameras on our referees for stuff to happen like that.
And they just, they can't work.
Do you
it
think
out
though
anyway.
that because they've already had that prior friendship or that relationship, it could have an effect on the games?
No. No, because referees.
Yeah,
that's what
it
I'm saying.
never affected Cameron Smith.
No, exactly. And referees, like, Manly aren't the only club that have referees that turn up.
Yeah.
And actually, I heard one of the refs talk. Remember Gavin Badger?
The badge.
He did a
He was
podcast
better.
and he spoke about why there was the perception that Cameron Smith was well liked and got a lot of. He said Cameron just knew when to talk and what to say. He was always professional, and the way that he spoke to the referees, they couldn't turn him back because he spoke when he was allowed to speak, and he always spoke in a professional manner where they had to answer his questions.
And he knew what to say.
He knew what he was just smart. Whereas guys like Gallen would just come up and blow his or Teddy whinges so much. Mitchell Moses is bad.
Oh,
Gutho's
Moses
bad.
is the worst.
So he just knew he was smart, Kevin Smith.
Yeah. All right, another controversy, last one.
Jesus, bigger.
In the news all week, this player's got an injury, in doubt for Origin.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's all just like clickbait? Do you reckon they're like, Crichton's had his thigh all iced up and, might not make it. Matt Burton's been called into Origin
And
camp.
then apparently there was a spy at the Blues camp which took that video of Crichton and wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, and then someone else, there's someone in the...
It's
Maroons
not.
and-
It's not very. It's like.
Is it just baiting?
Honestly, it's usually a Queensland.
To be honest, I just tune out of all that. Like it's like having a steak overcooked. Like, why would you want it? Why do you listen to it?
I say it's like decaf coffee. What's the point? You're not getting the
Remember
full
that
thing.
one. Remember that. All
Anyway, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the round.
For upset round, a Thursday night game in the pouring rain, absolute dismal conditions, and who knew the Dolphins were better swimming than the Dogs.
Yep, 44-8.
Wow.
Absolute thrashing.
I think what I will say is that yes, the Dogs were undermanned, but they really struggle in the wet conditions.
I'm glad you said that.
Look at
Oh, okay.
Was it the wet or was it the three key players that weren't there?
I don't think they've got a big enough forward pack to play slow up the middle.
Yeah, well, look at the line breaks. 7 line breaks to the Dolphins, none to the Dogs.
Yeah.
And even in wet weather footy, I mean, clearly you can still make line breaks. So the offload went away and completion
Hold on,
rate.
tackle breaks. 33 tackle breaks.
Yeah, and this is the best defensive team in the comp, the Dogs. Even if they are a bit undermanned, defence is a structure, it's a team-wide structure. So, yeah, interesting. Maybe the Dolphins... What's with the Dolphins beating big teams by putting 40 on like the Storm and now the Dogs?
Have a look at the
But
possession.
because they're still underestimating them. I think come the end of the year,
Good point.
if they start playing some big teams, they won't underestimate them
Well,
anymore.
Dolphins have had 55% possession too. Like that's a That's a big chunk of
But
time.
also completion rate.
80%.
80% compared to 64% from
So-
the Dogs.
Yep.
The Dogs had a dud. I think we've found, like Jed, and I'll quote him, the Dogs can't play wet weather football.
Look at the missed tackles
So,
there. 33 missed tackles for the Dogs, 13 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think
Right.
that's concerning.
Yeah. Just quickly.
Galvin will help that though.
Yeah. Do you actually think though? I was just going to say, he'll make a difference footballing wise to their team.
I think if they're going to change their entire structure
Yep.
right now, when they're on top of the ladder, I think that's crazy.
100%.
Like if they even move Burton
Yep.
to fullback, and then they got young Hayward, he's killing it. Where's he going to go? I just
I just don't understand it from a footballing.
But I do think Serraldo is a good coach.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But I wonder if this is Gould driven and whether Serraldo actually wants it. Because I know Ivan Cleary had a big problem with that.
It's publicity. It have to be publicity, surely. Like, we got to get him before anyone else
But they
does.
can't not play him then
Yeah.
if it's publicity. Like, anyway.
Well, yeah, you're right. Is he going to slot in? How's the other team members going to feel?
I'll tell you what.
He's obviously going to take Toby Sexton's spot.
And remember, people left the Bulldogs because they trained too hard.
For a guy that's played 11 games of NRL, whatever it is, it's a small amount. The NRL world is talking a lot about a guy that's played 11 games and done nothing.
And
I don't rate him.
Toya's played 10 games and he's playing State of Origin.
Yeah. But I just don't rate Galvin.
Well, he hasn't proven himself yet, has he? Like,
No.
what has he
but, like,
done?
Yeah.
What has he done?
So, this is... Anyway. Friday, second upset of the round. The lack of halfbacks. Eels 30, Seagulls 10. Eels obviously swim better in the wet.
Yep. I did tip Manly for this one. I thought Eels stood up, man. They were great. They were really good.
Yeah.
Seagulls, pretty much, I looked at these stats today and they were pretty even all the way around.
Yeah, look at it.
Possession, completion rate, missed tackles. I looked at it and it was all pretty even. Seagulls just couldn't score.
Yeah.
And the Eels could.
So basically, Manly missed Cherry Evans more than what Para missed Mitch Moses.
Yeah. But
So that's why we're paying Dylan Brown 1.3 and Luke Brooks can't get a half.
And doesn't that make you stoked for Cherry Evans next year?
Yeah.
Like, becoming so dependent on one player to...
Yeah.
Because Turbo played this. A lot of people say Manly without Turbo are useless, but we saw how...
Turbo isn't at 100% though.
No, he's not. He's out this week.
Well, he's out this week.
He looked dangerous in the lines,
He
but
looked really
they
good.
kept hitting that left
Yeah.
edge.
What
They scored when the ball came back the
If
other side.
Hopewadi scored, like he gets 100 on Supercoach points,
Yeah.
which you guys don't know, but that's a big deal.
I had him.
Yeah. What I will say though is that young Hawkins, he's got a really good kicking game.
Yeah, he was good. Well, he
Yeah.
definitely played better than Brooks.
Oh yeah,
Halfers.
definitely.
What's with Luke Brooks? So he left the Tigers because he was the $1 million man. He wanted to take some of the spotlight off. So he's gone to a club where he wasn't going to be the main guy, and he's still playing like he was at the Tigers.
I
His
think
defence is average.
he is old now.
What?
He is old in terms of football teams. He'll be 30.
Okay.
And I think if he was a 5'8" earlier on his career, 30 years old. that's
30.
what I said.
Daly Cherry Evans is 37 this year.
I'm just saying, if he discovered he wasn't a halfback earlier on, and he became the 5'8", he might have actually been a better player in his younger career. But he's not the guy that's going to run your team.
Yeah.
But I'd be running all my attack at him.
Yeah.
He's just.
For a
No,
guy
you've
that
got to
was-
run it at Cherry Evans. I know he's bad, but Cherry Evans is worse.
For a guy that
Really?
demanded the amount of money.
He has got the
that he did.
worst defence I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it
His
is bad.
reads are unbelievably bad. I would hate to be the centre next
Do
to
you
Cherry
rate
Evans.
Seabold as a coach though?
Never have I ever.
So do you think Luke Brooks
ever.
just isn't getting?
Like, he was crap at the Broncos.
Seabold was.
Continued to be crap at the South,
Yep.
and then gone to be crap at Seagulls.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the main reasons why Brooks isn't getting his best. And I wonder if that's could be partly the reason why
I
DC's
thought
decided
yeah.
to move on.
He went all right for 6 months.
Completely overrated, Luke Brooks.
Interesting. Anyway, next upset of the round,
25-6 to
Panthers
Newcastle.
versus Knights.
Honestly, why was this an
Wow.
upset? Why were the Knights at $3.30 something? Why were Penrith such short favourites? They're in last
Because
spot.
the Knights didn't have Ponga, and they had nothing with Ponga, so we thought without Ponga they were going to be even
Penrith
worse.
didn't have Cleary, and they've been horrible with and without Cleary this year. So why were the Panthers favourites?
Just
I
home field
thought Knights
advantage,
were worse.
home game advantage.
I thought Knights had been worse until this game.
Yeah.
Fletcher Sharp.
Yeah, he was really good. Ironically,
No points in the second
because
half.
Fletcher played fullback, didn't he?
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah,
Penrith.
and ironically, Kalen Ponga hasn't scored a try this year for Newcastle, and Fletcher scored with his first touch.
Fletcher scored a few.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying.
You're saying, yeah. I know what you're
At
saying.
that point, the Knights had a heap of penalties go their way. They were really helped at the start of this game.
All they're doing by winning odd games like this is just sustaining Adam O'Brien as
Yeah,
the
I know.
coach. Like, if they really don't want him, just turn up and just sit down for the week.
Yeah.
So I heard,
I mean,
I heard somewhere
that's reliable.
that I couldn't remember. It might have been NRL Physio, the Magic Sponge. That if they were leading Newcastle, they would keep Fletcher Sharp at fullback, and they would get rid of Kalen Ponga, with Brown coming in, and buy a decent halfback, and just let Kalen Ponga go.
and remember, you've got Jackson Hastings playing reserve grade, and he's on about
And-
$7.50.
Yeah, sorry, when he goes too, you'll get that
Yeah.
as well. So you'd have $1
They
million and a
won't pick
bit.
him anyway because they don't. O'Brien doesn't like.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm
You'd
just
have-
saying.
So
like,
you'd have $1.5 million potentially in your cap to throw at a halfback.
yeah.
Who's available?
I don't know, but
Lockie Galvin was.
But-
Not anymore.
do they need to mutually part ways?
Possibly.
Newcastle and Ponga. Is it just not good for both of them?
Well, he stayed because he wanted to stay and he wanted to guide them to a premiership.
Well, I think Kalen's
But-
getting to the point in his career where he's kind of like, I want to win a comp before I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
reach my peak.
Well, I think there's talk that when Teddy retires, that we might buy him. There's talk.
Sounds like something.
I think
Roosters
you've got
would do.
enough cup space there.
Yeah,
But when's
definitely.
Teddy going to retire? He's playing awesome footy.
Oh yeah, no,
He can't
no.
retire in the next couple
20
of years.
Yeah.
How long's he contracted till?
74. 2074.
That's something that yeah. I'm just saying, like,
Yep, alright, so poor Panthers, they got
Yeah.
nothing.
50
Alright.
missed tackles too, we just saw
Yeah.
there. Massive.
Jason, want to take us through this one?
Game of the round,
Alright.
Jace. Game of the round.
Upset number 3, the Roosters 42 over the mighty Cronulla Sharks 16.
Not so mighty.
Yeah, look, I wasn't too concerned, to be honest. I know you think I probably was. We completed at 80. We just didn't have an answer for Tupou at the start.
How good were his
And-
tries though?
yeah.
You
We-
just plucked the ball out of the air and fell over the line.
Yeah, we had no answer for that.
Your
The
guy
third-
didn't even jump.
The third try was like, yeah, Hiroti was horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh, see that?
And then
Horrendous
and then our mate
already.
gets sent off for 10 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo for
Oh,
that.
everyone saw that coming.
He did
He
a
only got-
Suoliti.
He only got 1 week.
He's very lucky.
He only got 1 week.
He's very lucky.
I don't know how that happened. So we got a bye this week, and then we got no.
Well, how
wingers.
did Mark not get taken off for HIA assessment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stayed on.
Yeah. None of those things make a lot of sense.
Quick question, Jason.
yeah.
So I rang Jason on Friday night.
This Jason.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
Jason.
It's
And I
Jason.
said to him, hey mate, going around to Matt's place on Saturday
Yeah.
night to watch the footy. Do you want to come? And he's like, yeah, mate, absolutely. You know, I'm here at Macca's and yep, we can come. I can come. And then call him on Saturday night. No answer.
Mm.
I just get a message. Can't make it.
Yeah.
So explain yourself.
All right. Well, firstly, how about we remember the conversation how it went? We just don't just make up what we want to say. I said, hey, I'll have to check with the family what we're doing. I'll see how we go. And I said, I know I can't make it a lot, but keep inviting me. And you know what? I couldn't make it.
There's this thing called
So,
family, wife, and
look,
kids that
lucky
you
you
have
did-
to
lucky
work
you didn't
with.
I'm pretty happy I didn't because I wasn't very happy at that point in this game.
you imagine?
But
Suffering through that with Jed sitting next to you.
like,
I was giving it to him when the Sharks. I'm like, oh, they're coming back, Jed. They're coming. They were 42 up, and with 30 seconds to go, and I think they scored in the last minute or two. And I said, oh, they're coming back, Jed. They're coming back.
I don't think the Roosters, like, I know you can see the scoreline, but I don't think they massively outplayed us. I think most of their tries were on kicks.
But we were missing like
I don't
5-6 players.
We were missing 5-6 players. What are you talking about?
Who are you missing?
Hey? Katoa, Stone Street, Toby Rudolph.
Yeah, but they're C-grade players.
Toby Rudolph won New South Wales Cup Player of the Year in the grand final.
Yeah,
Golden
New
Boot.
South Wales, C-grade.
He's a great player.
You know,
Anyway, no, good on you,
Matt?
Roosters, for having a win.
Would that matter?
Not concerned personally, and I don't think the Roosters make the 8 this year.
Sounds like a
Kick
salty
'em out.
Sharks fan, eh, Jed?
yeah, I know.
Salty Sharks fan.
Wait till we play
All
them
right,
again.
Raiders 16-10 against the Warriors.
Upset number 3.
This was a big disappointment for me. Like, I thought the Warriors should have had it, but they just kept stuffing it up. DWZ, I don't know what he's doing. He needs a haircut.
He hurt his hand
His
again.
hair's getting in the way. He's not thinking
Broke a
properly.
fingernail.
Do you know why I tipped the Raiders? It's because I looked at the forward pack. So Bunty Afoe and Niakorte versus Horsburgh and Tarpany. I looked at those matchups and I thought, well, the Raiders have the upper hand. And then I looked at the bench. Papali'i, Mariota, and Martin's a new guy, but there's big raps on him. And then I looked at the Warriors. It's Jackson Ford, he's a second rower. Vaimalga, he's a second rower. Laban's a second rower. They just didn't have the matchup up front. And that kind of, if you look at the way the Raiders have been playing, their front, the workhorses, their forwards have been laying the platform.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason why I tipped them. And I think the game kind of played out like that. There was a bit of spice in this one too.
Yeah.
Hey,
Can I just say quickly?
No.
I did the thing that I try not to do is that I had tipped Raiders, and at the last minute I changed to Warriors. I said on the podcast, this will be the game that the Warriors drop. They're due for a loss. They normally drop them in Auckland. I should have just stuck to my guns, and I didn't.
What's your Raiders tipping theory?
I've only tipped correctly once in 3 years.
Who did you tip?
Yeah, I tipped the Warriors.
Oh, cool. So it's back. We're back. Your
But yeah,
theory's
I
back.
actually said this in the chat. I reckon with the Warriors, if you can play a powerful game, short passes, and you turn your guys on the inside even, and go up through the ruck, you'll beat that Warriors team, but you've just got to stick to it, and you'll win every time.
Every time.
I don't think when Barnett and the Fish come back that's correct. But
That's the other reason.
with this team, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're two big outs. Mitch Barnett and Fisher Harris. Like,
Because Aaron Clark has plugged that gap that they did have there.
He's
World
good.
class.
He's fine.
But-
He's very passionate.
I still don't like
He is playing
Yeah.
100 times better for the Warriors than he ever did for the Titans.
No, I don't think so. In the
I
last
thought he
few
was
years,
so average for the
in the
Titans.
last few years for the Titans, he's really stepped up. They did a lot of positional changes with him, and then the last 2 years they had him coming off the bench as an impact role, and it was great. He was coming in, doing his job, getting it done, and he just plays with passion. He's that guy. You know, he plays for the jersey, like what you always go on about.
Yeah. And I think I said it last year. Imagine having a chick's name.
26.
Anyway.
Jed.
Wow.
Next time we meet up with him, Aaron. Next time we meet up with you, I'll let you say what you reckon.
Have you seen him play?
You
might need a mouth
Can we
guard when
film
This is
that?
coming. This is coming from the guy that he greeted. Who was it? Fafita, David Fafita. Oh no, Tino is David Fafita. No, we met David Fafita, and he's like, Tino.
Oh no!
And Dave's like, what?
That's
Tino?
embarrassing, Jed.
I'm like, oh, Dave. It's like, oh. I'm not with this guy.
All right, so the Doggies, we get to the ladder. Number 1, the Doggies are still on top. Number 2 is the Raiders on 18. The Warriors are also on 18. That's your top 3. Rounding out the top 4 is the Storm on 16 points. 5th and 6th is the Sharks and the Rabbitohs on 14 points. So it's good that the Rabbitohs are still in this top 8.
Hanging around, aren't
And
they?
they haven't played superbly well.
No.
Good on the Cowboys. They are in 7th and the Broncos are in 8th. And then, nope, not the Roosters. They're not going to make the 8.
But if you scroll, just
keep
give me 30
looking,
seconds and
keep
scroll right down to the
looking.
bottom. Oh, 7.
Panthers, $26 still to win the comp.
It's jumping up.
ridiculous.
But look at Storm to win the comp now. $2.70.
Yeah.
But-
Wow.
I will
What's
say.
surprising is the Sharks are still $8. I thought. they'd be
I will
way
say
down
in that
now.
in that. Can we just go back to that later, just quickly?
Can you find the Roosters?
Go up the top there. Sharks, Rabbits, Cowboys. They're all pretenders in that top 8.
Yeah. The problem
Yeah, but who's
is
gonna replace
they're
them,
in the
though?
top 8.
Who's
I-
going to replace them? Though?
I know, but they're just making up the numbers. Like,
Well,
the
anyone
Broncos-
below 4 is
I think
making
the
up
Broncos will.
We beat the Storm. We smashed
We beat
them.
the Raiders.
So you wait till
We
we
beat
get
the
Yeah,
play
Raiders.
the Storm in the finals.
And the Roosters.
Broncos,
Oh.
Roosters,
Yeah.
Panthers
Yeah.
will make up those 3.
Yuck. No.
Oh, Jed.
No.
No.
way.
You can tell we're getting close to the end of the podcast. Jed starts spewing stuff out.
All right. So what are we going to do now? We go on to this week's
We're
games.
going to- break.
We'll take a break and be back.
Who
in a
needs a
sec.
break?
We all do. First game of the round.
All right, what round are we up to now?
13, Jed.
13.
13.
All right, Friday
number.
night, Dragons versus Newcastle.
Dragons favourites $1.50. To the Knights $2.50.
Yep.
At
3,
Jubilee.
2, 1.
What do you do? Go again.
Well, Knights have been on off all year, so
Kalen may back up.
I'm
he
going
may get flattened
Dragons.
in Origin too.
3, 2, 1.
Dragons.
Dragons. What did you say, Matt?
Dragons.
Hmm.
All right, Dragons for the win. Saturday night, Titans versus Storm at Seabus.
Saturday
Oh.
day, actually.
Oh, Saturday day,
Oh, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Here you go.
Storm, heavy favourites. No, I can't this week. And they'll probably get destroyed. I think Storm will come out and blitz them. So Storm for the win for that one.
Storm.
Titans.
Although,
What?
I'm going the Titans.
although
Stick by that.
I'm going. I did last time when they won.
I'm pretty sure
Who they beat that I tipped?
the Knights.
Knights.
I'm pretty sure the Titans still have the game for the highest losing score against the Storm when we beat them 38-36. I'm pretty sure that's still a record.
Yes, it is.
I just
I think it
think
was 2016.
post Origin,
actually. Have a feeling.
maybe they
No.
Yeah.
maybe they have a go.
Well, the Storm do struggle outside of Melbourne. That's
And
what I'm
AJ
saying.
back to fullback.
Ooh.
Oh, I did not. I have not
Ooh.
seen that. That's
Don't you
actually.
look at the team list?
That's made my mind.
Wait,
tingle.
That's all
Although
we're
our
doing
3
Tuesday.
forwards are at, well, 2 forwards and a back.
Isn't
Well,
that
depending on what team
humorous?
they play.
I'll wait till team lists come out. Oh,
Humorous
It's
because
a
3 of
Tuesday,
our
yeah.
teams.
No,
are
no, no,
Origin
no.
players.
I mean like updated.
Put it this way. I'll be happier if I tip Melbourne and the Titans get the W rather than tipping the Titans and then Melbourne flogging them and going, why did I tip the Titans?
You will be, but
Can
I'm
you-
tipping
look,
Titans.
I'll tip Titans, and
Yeah,
if
you
Storm
scroll up,
if
yeah.
Storm win, I'll shave my head.
I'm a very confident
What?
one.
Hey, did you guys hear that? If Storm win, he's shaving his head.
There's not
Oh,
there's
That
not
is
much there to
that
go.
is what. Doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what,
Shave is
okay.
gone. Okay, that's
If
everything.
Titans win,
Like ball,
I'll shave off my ponytail.
ball,
Okay.
or just
Yeah. I'll just-
And if Storm win,
Yep.
you are shaving it all off. You're going bald.
Yep.
You said it.
if
cool.
the Storm win.
Yep.
It'd be better if you said if the Storm win, I'm
What
going to
a
grow a big
ding-dong.
beard.
Do you want me to book
I'm
you?
tipping the Titans, but I think that's
Do you, want
crazy.
me to, do you want me to book you into the Barbers now? Or?
No, we're doing it live on the show.
I got Clippers in the house.
We're not doing it live. We've got better things to do.
Anyway, next game.
all right.
Cows versus Tigers in North Queensland. Cows should get the job done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the cows should be confident. I think
so.
Next game, Saturday, Sea Eagles versus the Bronx at 4 Pines. This is a tricky game. Bronx are favourites.
Seagulls no turbo.
I'll go to tip Broncos, I think.
Manly at 4 Pines. They haven't had a real good
No, they've been horrible.
crack there for a while. I'm thinking Bronx as well.
Without turbo.
And what I
think
will
Broncos.
say is that
Arthur's is playing fullback for the
Interesting,
Broncos.
Yeah, is Selwyn's out? Isn't
No,
he?
Sel's on the wing.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah.
back on the wing.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Corey Pakes is starting 9 instead of Billy
So
Walters.
he's
Oh,
made
okay.
some
Yeah, a few
changes.
changes.
yeah, just a quick comment. What I will say about the Broncos is that it's not because of a lack of talent. I just think that they're just at 10, maybe 15% off. Once they get that right, they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
I
Just
just
not-
don't think the Seagulls have anything.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. Like, I still tip Broncos, but I think that we'll really see them post Origin. That they'll definitely lose some more games for the next 6 weeks or so.
It's just whether they're going to be too far out to make a comeback.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're
Just
still
my-
an 8th.
But I hear you.
So I'll go Bronx as well.
Yeah.
Sunday, 2 p.m. Rabbits versus Warriors. You've got to think it's in Sydney, but you got to think the Warriors bounce back with this one, right?
I'm going to
think
tip
so.
Rabbits.
I think the Rabbits they're in 6th, but I think they've had a pretty good draw. And I think that if you were talking about pretenders before, I think the Rabbits are pretending at the moment.
Is the fish back?
That's a good question.
Team
Let's
list should
have
be
a
out
look.
because we're filming on Tuesday. I think Latrell will be tired.
Yes, he is back.
Yeah.
Latrell
With
will be tired,
yeah.
and I think that will be a bit of an in.
I don't reckon he will be tired because he doesn't do anything.
I
He
think
will when he's
he,
playing.
he has to at centre. He can't hide there. With the fish back, I think Warriors.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. I think the Warriors.
I'm going to
should
tip
do
Rabbits.
Oh, geez, mate.
Ooh.
You're running out of things to shave.
Sunday, 17th.
Oh, we can go there.
17th.
We're not going
play 15th. We're not doing it live.
Oh, we are definitely not going there. I'm
Spoon
not
Bowl.
going
The Spoon Bowl.
Oh,
Panthers v Eels. I tell you, the Panthers have to win this game.
there. We keep saying that.
They have to win it. Will they win it though?
You know,
They're
it's
playing
funny,
at Combank, which is Eels' home ground.
but it's Panthers home game.
You know, it's
Who
Panthers
does the
home
draw?
game, but Eels' home ground. I think that was a cricket.
Live.
Cricket.
Live.
You're a shocker.
I can't edit that out too. It's too hard.
All right. Panthers.
What are you?
Who are you tipping?
I'm going to tip Parramatta.
I think Eels as well.
We've got to hurry up so I can keep breathing
Sorry.
through this. Who do you want to win?
So, Cal,
Team.
Cal, the code word for tonight's episode is buzz. All right,
Buzz.
buzz.
Jed Buzz.
So comment buzz
Oh,
and
come on,
what
Jetty,
at
not
what
here,
time,
man.
and we'll get you something.
Oh, it's a stitch up.
Buzz.
All right.
So
game of the-
sorry, to be clarified, chuck Buzz in the content, in the messenger chat,
Yep.
chat, whatever it is.
Yep, comment section.
Matt's got something coming to you.
Don't know what yet, but we'll work it out.
Sunday, you watch the Raiders destroy the Roosters.
Wait, how close is the betting? $1.80 to
That is
$1.87
way
to
too
$1.97.
close.
Roosters aren't that good, are they?
I think Raiders have got this one, Jed. What do you reckon?
No, I got to stick with my boys.
Stick with the
Good
boys.
stuff, Jed.
Stick with
Good
the boys.
stuff.
I think we can do it. Raiders had a
Okay,
big
Raiders.
game last weekend. So they'll be still in New Zealand. So
Still in New Zealand. Forgot to catch the plane.
Whoops.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, no.
No.
The Raiders are missing Starling. He got a couple of
Suspended.
weeks, and Tarpany got nothing.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, he did. Owen Paddy.
Uh,
Danny Levi's back for the Raiders.
Yeah,
Wow.
Danny Levi.
Interesting.
Is that his first game of the year?
Yeah.
Yep. Sharks to beat the bye.
Oh, I don't know if they play like they did last week.
I think the Doggies and the Sharks need a bye. Sharks haven't had a bye yet, so that's good. Get a bit of a rest. Find a winger. Hey, if you know a winger, can you tell the Sharks about it?
Yeah.
Because we ain't got one anymore.
Alrighty, and then we did this last week, but we might just do our tip for Origin. quickly. We might go tip in case any of it's changed, which is unlikely, and then also man of the match for game 1. So, Matt, you want to go first?
I'm still sticking with Maroons. Obviously, I can't tip Blues against Maroons. Maroons in Suncorp on a Wednesday night. It's dry. It's not going to rain, is it? I think it's raining tomorrow night.
No, Thursday, Friday. Oh, Friday, Saturday, apparently.
I'm still going to stick with a similar scoreline, so around that 20 to 18, 20 to 16, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be close. And man of the match, Tino.
Oh, I was going to go Tino. Damn it.
I think he's going to lead the pack.
You can go Tino.
Even though he's not the captain, I think he'll be leading from the front.
Jedediah.
Big minutes, big aggression.
I was leaning towards New South Wales, but I'm actually leaning towards Queensland now, purely for the fact of it's been raining all week in New South Wales, and they've had a disrupted week, and even with the Stephen Crichton thing, whether he plays or not. So yeah, I'm going to tip Queensland, and I'm going to go Robert Toy for my man of the match.
Wow. Tell you what, if that happens, you can keep your hair.
Yeah.
Because we know the Storm are going to win.
Yeah.
All right,
Jace.
Blues
Oh, wow.
will win.
Surprise,
Blues will win. I can't tip the Maroons even if I had a gun to my head.
Even if they were the worst team ever.
Even if definitely if they were the worst team ever. Man of the match, I still think Cleary.
You know, I'll tip the Maroons because I'm a Queenslander, and my man of the match is Cameron Munster. He's going to have a blinder.
Yep.
That was probably the most dullest segment we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
We could have all known
Because
that
we're
was
all-
going
we're
to
all-
happen. All right, here we go.
It's the anticipation.
Here's just to spice it up a little bit. Who's the first person to get set off?
Sent off or sin bin?
Spencer.
Sin bin.
Has to be Spencer.
That's a
surely.
good call.
But
Spencer or Liam Martin.
he's on the bench, so he doesn't get in early.
Yeah,
I
but they
think
can hold
Tino's-
off until then.
Tino's a fair shout.
Tino's a good chance to get.
I'm going to go
back in.
Latrell.
Oh, Latrell's
Latrell,
a great
Latrell.
With a
shout.
shoulder charge to
Yeah,
someone's head.
okay, yep.
Do a Suoliti.
Yeah.
I know I came out with it, but I hadn't actually thought about it. I think
Spit it out, son.
Cameron Munster.
Oh.
I reckon he goes so hard, he does something stupid.
And he'll still get man of the match. You watch.
And he'll still get more super coach points than anyone. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you're still here, give us a like and a subscribe. Share it with your friends. Get it out there. It's good having you along. If you're a Queenslander, don't take it too hard. We're tomorrow night or Wednesday night. Hope you go all right. But go the Blues.
Up the Maroons.
Yeah, up around. Come round to my place if you like.
Have a good life.
I'll pop Jed's address in the description below.
Yeah.
Have a good life, guys.
See ya.